So this is where we're looking at the lefts, okay? So this is where we can see the lab instrument. We were talking about lefts earlier. This one is averaging around about negative 16.
No. Don't worry, we're transitioning. We got both. We're trying to go back to that back.
Alright, so Pro L2.
Mastering.
So a lot of mastering is listening to the song over and over. So for this, I'm going to set the immediate gain up to around negative 5. Turn true peak off. Oversampling off. For attack, for a beat record, I'm going to send this down to around 200 milliseconds on the attack. About 500 milliseconds on the release. I feel like it's always a good starting point. Next, I'll show you how I kind of EQ these tracks usually with the Pro. Alright, you can see a little bit better.
Yeah. So it's kind of like showing the entire EQ. Oh, okay.
So step one I will do, and the best thing about FabFilter is once you select one frequency point, we kind of scan up and down and see those two vertical lines. Kind of shows you the section we're listening to, like just the bass, or just the mid-range, or just the highs. My first step I usually do is I'm usually looking for a frequency somewhere between 400 to 600 hertz. Now when it comes to the Q, this actually makes it a thinner slice. So now I want to kind of let's do a thinner slice here. Usually I'm looking for the most resonant bad tone I can find. Okay, in music, in beat music, it's usually, again, 400 to 600 hertz. You're gonna find something cool, or something not cool, rather. Okay, so I'm gonna find something there, I'm gonna dip it. Now, very thin slice, the Ghost. Another dynamic on top. Now, when I boost anywhere above this area, I almost always boost with 2 bells. So it's going to be, instead of 1 bell for a frequency, 2. Usually makes for a kind of a smoother transition, depending on what I'm looking for. This one, I'm going to get the bass way up. And then the 2 more.
I remember in high school we had that. What do you use now, Adobe?
Alright. Sounds nice to me. Go back to the meter. Okay, loudness is a little bit louder now. Next. I'm supposed to now turn this up. So see where it's basically averaging around negative 10, right? As I said earlier, the goal I'm usually going for, just like the most steady part of the song is going to be negative 8.5. So I'm going to just literally raise this 1.5 dB. Restart it. It's going to be close. A little bit more. All right. Ready? Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to adjust the output level. I'll go with negative 0.1 for now, ish. Now, another very critical thing when mastering is inserting a certain amount of silence at the very beginning of a track. Okay, I'm going to be specific about that amount. Exactly 0.2 seconds. Okay, so 200 milliseconds. You might be asking yourself, okay, why do that? Okay, well, first of all, 0.2 seconds is very, very small amount of time. It's almost unnoticeable to most listeners. And the reason why you really want to do this in mastering is because there are quite a few different playback devices that will not start at the very beginning of the track. Okay, sometimes it'll start 0.1 seconds in, 0.05, whatever it is. So a really good test of this is Dropbox. Okay, so if you ever put a track you just mastered on Dropbox, if you have this track starting literally at 0, guaranteed it's going to clip on playback. Okay, when you hit it out of Dropbox, it's going to do a little clip sound. That's always a good test to make sure that hey, it's not clipping in Dropbox. Because if it's clipping there, it's going to clip in a few other places as well. Sometimes CDs will move in on the ID. Apple does it sometimes. It's strange. So I just did that there just to make sure we have enough time there. I'm about to move to track 2. Again, that's I'm going to try to do a whole ET here. Immediately, I'm going to find something down here around 400. Just that tone, very subtle. It's going to go though. Do this boost again around 1K, 1K up to around 215. Sounds nice. Let me get the loudness up just one for the machine, right? So again, this is averaging around negative 13. This means we're going to come up around 4 now. We started.
A lovely, mild, sweet aroma.
Godamchan. He doesn't even know I'm doing this. Chan, if you're seeing this, sorry. Yeah, I think about it. I'm raising this a little bit more. Alright, we were talking about gain staging earlier. I'm already fucking up. Okay, you can tell the meter here, it's too loud.
Sweet aroma.
It's maxing. Yeah, there it is. That tells me that I need to adjust our limiter. I'm gonna bring this up another 2 dB. Again, this is a record that I think obviously we're hearing that these are beats. This thing should slap. So
Old sweet aroma.
That sounds about right. Let's turn this one down now. Oh, we're still on the Alright, we're gonna sprint. I got like 15 minutes to finish this record, so we're gonna do it. We gotta start that one over. Hold on. Ooh, Chan, killing me. I got too many windows open.
It probably takes a lot of practice to finish the track in 15 minutes. However long
Yeah, I know. Always complex, though.
That's very impressive. It's like the essence of sound. Pretty impressive.
You can hear something humming there. This one could definitely use a high lift. And the bass.
I like thinking about it that way.
Now I'm letting it bleed a little bit here. We're going up to -7. That's a little loud, but it just sounds right in that section. So you hear me, I'm going back and forth with the previous tracks now. Just to make sure it's sounding level. Yeah, good. A little loud. We'll half decibel down. And you can tell now on this fourth track that sounds a lot duller. Singing again around 380 if you're ready. Now this is a situation where usually I don't too many high shelves and mastering, but I'm gonna do it today. Hold on. Just want to get the high end just right first. And that's usually my process too. I usually dial the high end first, and then I'll do the low. Really get the loudness. You can hear that A note singing, so 440. See the hi-hats, a little much for me. Squeaker. New dynamic here, as you can see, it says kind of the EQ is basically working now with the hi-hat. Just right. Alright. Sound like we got a record. Alright, so and this is yet another thing. Shout out Basico. So this isn't going on the godamchan EP, but
Stop counting floating dust speck.
we have a new Rap Ferrera thing that's getting finished up.
Mother Universe, a poem. I rap like this cause I've never been scared to be alone. Windbag with the high ground at the impact. Rim shot Sinbad, deal with the quick man. They big man. The vulnerability involves indecency. Dr. Manhattan don't wear pants, so why should I? Like Book of White, I'm looking funny in my eyes. I bring the noise, I bring the ruckus, and they merely bring disguise. This poet tells these very gorgeous lies that often come true. Yes, every song I'm thumbing my nose at you. Codes and signals, pros and giggles, it amounts to a life's work. A lot of calculus trying to find the work, and I enjoy the spoils. Set a well-boiled tin man. Set a well-boiled tin man. You gotta be for real, yeah. Rapping gets people killed. You gotta be for real. You gotta be for real. Rapping gets people killed. Make the alphabet mouth. Make the alphabet mouth. And when I came to, the only lucid thought was Ruby Yacht. And when I came to, the only lucid thought was Ruby Yacht.
You want to walk
The
back to the
only
garage?
lucid thought was Ruby Yacht.
Yeah. This goes like, yeah, play the outro. I'm going back through this again. So sometimes I'm going to finish the volume and I'll just play really thin slices. Make sure it's going right. Little itty bitties.
Bad, still with the quick man. They big man. Make the alphabet Malcolm.
Guess what? I'm feeling like we could print this thing right now, honestly. So basically, that's the process I will go through around again, just voluming, EQing. You know, I'm looking at the limiter. I'm really you guys notice, hopefully, I have the meter up quite a bit. Okay, this is always like, I just want to feel like my ears aren't leading me too far off, that the meter is grounding me back into reality.
It's a really different experience than.
Now, next step, you know, usually, okay, say this is a real live fire situation, Chan's right here, obviously, bass goes right here. They're like, all right, Ken, like, okay, we really need to finish the record. Sounds great, but how does it finish?
Yeah.
You know, after this, I'm going to go through and kind of do some cleanup between the tracks, right? Just getting a little small fades. This situation too, again, there's like a, you know, little clip there at the beginning.
A lovely, mild, sweet aroma.
Other known planets.
Just make sure there's no little. Now, this is a situation, you know, I'm sure you guys find yourselves in this situation a lot where you have program material where it's continuously playing. Okay, it's one thing to have tracks where there's going to be some silence. That's always an easy errand at this moment. But let's say he wants this, I know Chan, he wanted these to flow right into each other. So there's no real
The
silence.
surface of planets.
See that sound effect? Right in. So that creates a bit of a problem, okay, if we're going to really cut this up and still be able to address that issue I was saying earlier about having that silence in there. So usually what I will do, depending how close it is, I mean, this situation, again, I want to try to see what 0.2 seconds looks like. That's what it looks like. It's a bit much. I'm going to do it anyway. And this is where I would put the track ID. Okay. Oh, excuse me. I would not do it there. Lying. I would do it back here. Okay, so now, you know, during this part of the process in mastering, when we're just doing the track gaps, is what they call it. These are just things I'm thinking about. Again, long fade out again.
We're on our way. Get some thick dirt. Get our souls right. Cleanse. You throw some dirt in your hair or something.
Alright. And again, here I would put the track ID there. Okay, so again, it's before the waveform even starts. 0.2 seconds long is exactly. Wait. And you'll notice it really makes a difference, especially in different playback environments.
It's this thing like El Nino, this airflow that comes from Hawaii and Canada, and it gets the dirt, mixes it in with the weed in a very special way. It's actually very scientific. I won't go into it right now.
I'm gonna play this intro out. Kind of break my own rules again, like this one to be game stage a little loud. A lot of loud.
When I came to, the only lucid thought was Ruby out. The only lucid thought was Ruby out. When I came to, the only lucid thought was Ruby out. The only lucid thought was Ruby out.
I have a bad habit, some of my clients hate me for this. At the very last track of a record, I will almost always add at least 2 or 3 seconds of silence, sometimes 5 on an album. The reason I do that is just so, again, on a full playback, that there is, you know, if a new, you know, the playlist is switching, things like that, just gives the record scene a chance to really wind down. So I did that here. All right. Put in some more markers here. And guess what, guys? way it would go is we're going to bounce the file. And guess what? In about 20 seconds, we're going to have